So let's go back around to Eddie Murphy because he did confirm that he's going back to do stand-up in 2020.
We
and
kind of
now,
know this already?
Yeah, we kind of knew it.
So
Deadline
until 2020.
Worst kept secret? Type?
Yeah, it's a worst kept secret. Deadline finally reports and says he said it on this podcast. He's confirming that he's going back, and then he's saying he's going to host Saturday Night Live, and then after that he's going to start going on tour and working out his bits
Makes
and
sense.
getting back up on. And so everybody's going out. That is going to be the Netflix special. So he's going to prep, and we talked about this. I'm like, how long is that prep going to be? So
What's
2020.
What's it going to be like, especially? Like, what do we think his material is going to be like? Because, so I asked this, you look at someone like Dave Chappelle, who we just talked about. Chappelle's been at it for like the last, 15, 20 years, just grind at the
But
grind.
he took that long break after Chappelle's show.
Really
Sort
quick,
of,
did
but
you
it was
guys
only
think
like
his
2
special
years.
was really funny?
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, I
Oh,
loved
you
it.
didn't see it yet.
I loved it.
You loved it.
Did you like
It was
it?
great.
I didn't finish it. I thought it was like fine. What I saw. I didn't
You
think
don't
it
get
was.
offended easily, though.
No, but I mean, I think he said some things that I could see why people got offended.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I didn't myself get offended. You know.
Right. But Murphy was the guy like in 83, 84 saying stuff. I mean, first of all, you watch Delirious, none of that stuff flies. You talk about people getting offended. No, you can't.
No.
It's some people even say some of it's hate speech.
Yes.
But he now and he's had and that was before the Eddie Murphy, the family film Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
What is he? What's his act like?
He lives in a castle. He's a billionaire.
Right. Like, how is he
Like,
relatable?
what is his
these days?
relate?
Right.
Yeah.
Because when Ellen did her special, right, she came out basically saying how she's not relatable.
Right.
And so I mean that was her point of view.
Yeah.
What is Eddie Murphy gonna talk about? Is he gonna be safe? Do you
I
think Eddie
don't
Murphy's
think-
gonna be safe?
I
or
don't
is
think
he
he's
gonna
going to be safe.
Because
You
if
think
he's
he's gonna go
safe,
out?
he's probably going to be boring, right?
Totally.
That's what people
I
are going
couldn't
to
agree
think.
with. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, but I could see him also bombing if he's not with the times.
I wonder if he'll do something like Chappelle does. He'll go right at the culture. You know what I mean? And he'll comment on that.
Yeah,
I-
but that's what I thought was fascinating about the Chappelle special is that you can look at it from an objective point of view and think, okay, I think him trying to fight the political correct atmosphere that we live in he does have a point, right?
Mm-hmm.
He may have not done it in the most politically correct way, but that's what it comes.
But that was his point.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with questioning these things. I think there should be a balance of, hey, let me make these jokes. You can tell me if you're offended by them. I can rework them and then see is this better. And it's probably going to be better for most people, but it's not going to be better for you. That might be offensive to you still, right? But I think it's important to talk about it because it's still comedy, right? That's what people have to understand. It's like you can be offended at it. That doesn't mean that you have a right to censor it and to not have people say these things.
Well, that's what I think. It's the cancel culture, that shut down thing of like, you don't like something, so you're either going to try to get them fired or have them get. It's like it's not the way it works.
Right.
It's just like you can have can and should have your opinions on things.
Especially if somebody is being offensive, because that does happen.
Right, but when it comes to the state of comedy, the question is what is offensive and to you and not funny to you might be offensive to him but funny to him, or vice versa. And that's the thing with comedy that I think that comedy has suffered greatly for.
You clicked on my face.
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's what he says. in the
You
special.
guys really need to watch it. Like
Yeah.
seriously,
I know.
it's
I'm gonna
like
try to watch it
as
this
soon as
weekend.
possible because it's like towards the end there, it washed over me how powerful it was at this moment.
Karina
So-
Riley, did you guys watch the epilogue?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. So after the credits, there's a little like epilogue that pops up, and he basically does like a Q&A with the crowd. And it's wonderful. It's
It is.
fantastic.
So you saw the whole thing,
Yeah.
Christian, and you liked it a lot?
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay,
Dave
cool.
Chappelle's my favorite comedian, so I might be a little biased, but
No,
he's great.
Okay.
I think, I said it on the show, I think on Monday or Tuesday when we weren't here Monday, but that like, I have trouble sitting down and watching Netflix specials all in a row because I've spent so much damn time in a comedy club that like, it just like, I'm just bored pretty quickly. So I watched like 20 minutes and 20 minutes and 20 minutes. I still haven't got to this epilogue. I didn't even know it existed, so
It's
I'm going
amazing.
to watch it. Yeah.
Oh God, the epilogue is probably the best part for me because he really is off. He's like, ask me questions, and then he riffs, and it's amazing.
I also wanted to bring up what's the comedian, this person's name, I forget her name. She did that special called Nanette.
Oh, Hannah Gadsby.
Thank you. Okay, so
Hannah Gadsby?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, come along
So-
and see a spider?
So a bunch of people
She's from
thought
New
that was
Zealand.
either not funny at all,
Yeah, I couldn't get through
or
that.
it was also just a cool kind of one woman show, and she was
people
touching up
call
on a
it
lot
brilliance.
of and a lot of interesting topics, and it's interesting that because for me personally, I can watch her show and enjoy it, and also agree and understand why she's pissed off. as like a lesbian woman and all these things that she talks about,
Wait a
right?
minute, you didn't tell us that.
Yeah. But I can also enjoy Chappelle.
Right.
That's kind of how I feel, right? It's like you can enjoy both, right? You don't have to choose a side and be like, you can only do the politically correct comedy.
Well, that's why,
versus
and
not.
that's why I want to spin it back to Eddie Murphy, though, because that's the thing, where you have Dave Chappelle. You knew watching the special, Dave Chappelle has never held back anything.
Right.
Eddie Murphy hasn't been on stage in a very long time. So the question is, when he goes up there, he was very honest and, again, raw back in the day. Will he continue to do that? Can he do that? Should he do that? I think that he's, it's will he go into that stuff? What
does he have to lose? He's got like millions and millions of dollars. Like at this point, just go out and rip.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you're going to see the stuff in at the Comedy Store, and he's going to pop in. He's going to do, he won't announce it, but you'll be there, and he'll pop up, do 10 to 20 to 30 minutes, and get it tight. And you're going to start seeing that more and more and more, hearing about it anyway.
He hasn't even been on SNL since the 80s, right?
Well, he was at the special in
Right.
2015, but he didn't do anything.
Serious.
Right.
He didn't do anything. Well, the reason why he wouldn't, David Spade did that Hollywood Minute special. He was a bit back in the day on like during the news thing, and he would crack on celebrities, and he riffed and he did something on Eddie Murphy, and that pissed Eddie Murphy off. And for like years, Eddie Murphy wouldn't even take phone calls from them. And finally, they came to an agreement, and then he was there, didn't do any jokes, was really not funny at all. And now he's going to host, so that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite Eddie Murphy SNL skit?
I mean, Mr. Robinson's
Yes,
probably easy, but I mean,
that's my favorite.
James Brown, because when he did James Brown's really good, and the Gumby stuff.
Gumby's really good.
based off.
Buckwheat.
He said it as Gumby was based off
Buckwheat
his neighbor.
That's
yeah, or
the
a
word
guy that he knew.
aunts.
I've never laughed so
Tats.
hard in my life as
Feet
a
times
young
a
boy.
lady.
The Una Panuna Banca and the question
Welcome
question marks, because I
Panuna.
memorized it and I would do it for my family.
And dad,
they were like, "What are you doing?"
Sit on the dad, dude. East
Dad.
leva.
The
Ah.
question, I don't know. See, the thing is because when you look at, that was only 50, like not even 50 years old, the Little Rascals at that point. So
Right.
that's still in the zeitgeist. Now,
No,
Oh, yeah.
no.
I don't know if it'd play.
No.
I mean, it played to us old fogies, but it wouldn't,
Totally.
people may not even know who the hell that is.
Well, if you watch that Little Rascals movie, but the thing is that they
True.
didn't play up Buckwheat's inability to say words.
No.
He only said "ote" once.
Because it was the most racist
Yes,
character of
because
all
super
time.
offensive.
Super.
Super
Bill
offensive.
Cosby, of all people, was pulled. He owned all the footage for it and wouldn't allow it because of the representation. He wasn't wrong. I mean, because when they made that in the 30s,
Yeah.
it's like that it wasn't a great time.
Yeah.
It was not.
No. So and that's how he was the black that's how black people were being represented to a mass audience. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
understand, and so that's why it probably wouldn't happen. Like,
I mean, it's
happened.
like it's similar to the Song of the South thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, exactly, because it's just a time where that's because the way that that black people were portrayed in that time was like, well, this is the way it is, and that's the way that we see these people, and it's like we don't want to portray that as Disney, and as that's in the 30s. That's the way it was,
Right.
and I understand that taking the footage out, not having those released, and all that. It's the same thing like Dumbo, like those crows.
Right.
Racist.
That's so weird,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Because again, as you guys know, I did not grow up here, so I didn't learn American history until I moved to the States in college, and then I was like, "Your guys' slavery history is messed up."
Right.
I knew a little bit about it, but goddamn, no wonder everyone's pissed off.
Right, yeah,
I
no
get it.
shit.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, anyway, so to have Eddie Murphy come back, and I'm crossing my fingers to see. I want it to be great. I want it to be great. I watched Delirious a billion times when I was a kid.